Dear students, welcome to this lecture 2 on the lenses. In this lecture, we shall deal with the coaxial optical systems and generalization of image formation by complex lens systems using cardinal points. Let us first discuss coaxial optical system. The single lens are rarely used for image formation because they suffers from various defects. In optical instruments such as microscopes, telescopes, cameras, etc., the combination of lenses are used for forming images of the objects. In such optical instruments, an optical system consists of number of lenses placed apart and having common principal axis are generally used. The image formed by such a coaxial lens system is good and almost free of all kind of aberrations. A combination of two or more lenses having common principal axis on which the center of curvature of all the spherical surfaces lie is called coaxial system of lenses. As in case of thick lens, here we cannot neglect the thickness of coaxial system. Figure shows the coaxial lens system consisting of four different kinds of lenses. For the case of coaxial optical system, one cannot use lens formula which is used for the thin lenses, since while deriving these formulas, the thickness of the lens was neglected. Further, since a thin lens consists of only two refracting surfaces, while coaxial system will have large number of refracting surfaces. Hence, in order to determine the size and the position of the image, one has to consider the refraction at each surface separately. Therefore, it becomes tedious to determine the size and the position of the image in a coaxial system similar to the case of thick lens. Therefore, to overcome this difficulty, Gauss in 1841 suggested a system of 6 cardinal points. These 6 cardinal points greatly simplify the study of the formation of images and the tracing of the conjugate rays. With the help of these points, the exact details of refraction within the system need not to be considered, and the coaxial system of lenses may be treated as a single unit, just as a thin lens. The position and size of the image of an object may then directly be determined by the simple formulae which are used in case of thin lenses, however the complicated systems may be. The cardinal points suggested by Gauss are also called Gauss points. The 6 cardinal points of an optical coaxial system are 2 focal points, 2 principal points, and 2 nodal points. Before moving further, we must know what are the conjugate points? A pair of points in the image and object space are called the conjugate points if all the rays from one point to the other point are reversible. Thus, as shown in figure, if the object place where the image was, an image would be formed exactly at the original object position. Let us first discuss two focal points and corresponding focal planes. Above figure indicates coaxial system with principal axis xy. Inside the space between the surfaces S1 and S2, there may be a number of coaxial lenses. The actual passage of the refracted ray within the coaxial system is not known and has been shown by dotted line in the figure. Now consider a point object situated at point F1 on the principal axis such that all the paraxial rays incident from this point on the system are rendered parallel to the principal axis after emergence. Such an incident and emergent ray have been shown by mark in figure. Then F1 is called first focal point or the first principal focal point of the optical system. A plane passing through F1 and perpendicular to the principal axis is called the first focal plane. Thus, all the rays from F1 will form a point image at infinity. Similarly, parallel rays shown by mark 2 in figure will converge at point F2 after emergence from the coaxial system. The point F2 where the emergent beam cuts the principal axis is called second focal point, and the plane passing through F2 and perpendicular to the principal axis is called second focal plane. Now let's move on to the principal points and corresponding principal planes. Let a point F1 is the first focal point of the optical system. Hence, the paraxial rays incident from it on the system are rendered parallel to the principal axis after emergence. Now, if the incident and emergent rays are extended between the surfaces S1 and S2, they meet at point Q1 as shown in figure. Now, the plane passing through the point Q1 and perpendicular to principal axis intersect the principal axis at point P1. This point P1 is called first principal point and the plane is called first principal plane. Now let a point F2 is the second focal point of the optical system. Hence, the incident parallel rays will converge at F2 after emergence from the coaxial system. Now, if the incident and emergent rays are extended between the surfaces S1 and S2, they meet at point Q2 as shown in figure. The plane passing through the point Q2 and perpendicular to principal axis intersect the principal axis at point P2. The point P2 is called second principal point and the plane is called second principal plane. Now let us see this combined figure. In this figure, the two incident rays are directed towards point Q1 in the first principal plane. After refraction, they seem to be come from point Q2 in second principal plane. Therefore, Q2 is the image of Q1 and we can say that Q1 and Q2 are the conjugate points. It is also seen that P1 Q1 is equal to P2 Q2. Hence, for the images at principal planes, the lateral magnification is +1. Now let's see nodal points and nodal planes. A pair of conjugate points on the principal axis of the optical system having unit positive angular magnification are called the nodal points of the optical system, and the plane passing through these nodal points and perpendicular to the principal axis are called nodal planes. That is, tan of alpha 1 divided by tan of alpha 2 is equal to +1, where alpha 1 and alpha 2 are the angles made by the incident and emergent ray respectively with the nodal planes. It simply means that the light ray, when directed towards one of these nodal points, after refraction through the optical system, will appear to emerge from the second nodal point parallel to the direction of incident ray. In figure, the incident ray 1 directed towards the point N1 emerges through the optical system, appears to be come from point N2. These two rays are parallel to each other. Then point N1 and N2 are called the nodal points, and the plane passing through these points are respectively first and second nodal planes. Also, it can be seen from the figure that the distance P1 N1 is equal to P2 N2. Now we shall see how the image can be constructed using cardinal points. By knowing the cardinal points of an coaxial optical system, the image corresponding to any object placed on the principal axis of the system can be constructed. It need not necessary to know the position and curvatures of the refracting surfaces or nature of intermediate media. Now let us consider the coaxial optical system with F1 and F2 be the focal points, P1 and P2 be the principal points, and N1 and N2 be the nodal points of the optical system as shown in figure. Let AB is a linear object on the axis. In order to find out the image of the point A, we make the following constructions. Number 1, a ray AQ1 is drawn parallel to principal axis touching principal plane at Q1. The conjugate ray proceeds from Q2, a point from second principal plane, such that P1Q1 is equal to P2Q2 and will pass through the second focal point F2. Number 2, second ray A F1R1 is drawn passing through the first focal point F1 and touching principal plane at R1. The conjugate ray proceeds from R2, a point from the second principal plane, such that P1R1 is equal to P2R2 and it will be parallel to the principal axis. Number 3, third ray AN1 is drawn passing through the first nodal point N1. The conjugate ray proceeds from N2, the second nodal point, and it will be parallel to the incident ray AN1. The point of the intersection of any of the above two rays will give the image of point A. Let it be A1. If perpendicular drawn onto the axis, it will give the image of object AB.